starting point to
do something else, especially if they have a freshman. She's got tons of years.
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
to move
right.
on. So, well, incoming freshmen.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
say 4 more years.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's great.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll reach out to her. That's great. That's what I want. I want someone who's going to be around.
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah. I think you guys will really connect.
Okay.
I was
Great.
going to reach out to her about joining and she'll
We're at time.
Okay.
40. So we are waiting on the students. They're not here. We have our fellow bringing them in and out this time. So I'm going to just make sure she's got the right eyes and things. I've been talking with Heather and I think he's not there now. I'll go install him.
I think you have to keep it open to everybody.
All right, well, maybe.
Yeah, that's what we were waiting on. But no, I appreciate it. Thank you. Should we just go ahead and let everybody know? Just let everybody know where the presenter is due.
All right, looks like it's time to start, but our next presenter is not here, so we'll extend.
Maybe if everybody can go back to their seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably if you could start getting closer to your seats, so we'll be ready when they do
Yeah.
show up.
Well, I texted him and asked where he wanted to be seen, and I haven't heard back from him yet.
Who?
Hayden.
He's still a guy just talked.
Well, then why does he want to be seen for his back then?
What? Well, we do have an empty block. Just shift down. Where's Justin? I don't know. That's his job. I have to bring him in. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Carolina kickoff. Yeah.
You're sweet.
So the next one is also Latinx. There's 3.
Hey, folks. I'm going to sing who Chapel Roan seems to be the thing the young folks are into. If you haven't heard The Giver, The Giver. Oh my God, that's a good song. The Giver by Chapel Roan. I'm not going to sing. We were at 12. Kenneth's like, thank God. 12:46. So our Maddie, our family programming fellow, is outside, ready to receive them. They're not here as of yet. We will likely, if they showed up now, we would not see them. We do have a vacant space at 110. So talking with Angela and Sanjay, if they were to show up, we would move them there to give them a fair shake. You never know what's going on. It is a student who is coming to present. Could be anything going on. So I'll follow up even if we don't see them, just to make sure they're well and okay, and if we need to figure something out about their proposal. So we have a short few, like 7-8 minutes, maybe less, if Dr. Shauna Harris with Mentorship Mondays arrives earlier, and we'll continue then. Thanks for your patience, y'all. Let the falafel digest a little longer, right? We're helping.
Those could come back and bite. Are they the presenters? Okay. All right. Welcome to the Parents Council Interview Day. We're glad to have you here to share more about Mentorship Mondays. Justin has put up your slides. You'll have 6 minutes to present, and then we'll have 3 minutes for question and answers. You can see how much time you have left by looking at our timekeepers over here to the left. Please speak in the microphone so we can hear you clearly. Whenever you're ready, please begin.
Okay, thank you so much for having us. My name is Shauna Harris, and I serve as the director of the Carolina Women's Center.
My name is Heather Buckarell. I serve as program coordinator at the Carolina Women's Center. Thank you for having us.
So just to put things into context for why we are here, we are looking to host a Mentorship Mondays program for students on our campus. For those of you who do not know, the Women's Center has been on somewhat of a hiatus over the past 3 years due to staffing and leadership changes. So we literally over the past year have been relaunching and have been using some data that was collected prior to us starting, but then also conversations that we've been having with faculty, staff, and students about the importance of mentorship, particularly for women on our campus.
So one of our outcomes is to increase the connections, student access to mentors who can be able to provide them with advice, provide them with support, provide them with any kind of resources that would allow them to continue their journey on campus, especially when we're looking at women in STEM fields and women who need additional support that they may not get from their academic area or other programs on campus. Also looking at facilitating those discussions between mentors and mentees, providing professional development opportunities on campus, off campus, and increasing overall wellness for students. That allows us to build those meaningful connections throughout campus and to build bridges with other organizations and departments on campus to create a holistic experience.
So these are the deliverables that we have. So starting in the summer, that's when we want to plan, really identify who our key stakeholders are going to be, understand really what this program design is going to look like, and then also determine the set budget. We'll go into the budget spreadsheet in a moment, but this will give us an opportunity to really allocate the funds for the next year. Starting in August, we want to hit the ground running to recruit our mentees and our mentors that will be with us throughout the year using those various communication outlets. Starting in September is program implementation. We really want to utilize this time to offer networking lunches, workshops, one-on-one opportunities, but then also how do we bring in campus and community partners into this conversation, then followed by our final impact report at the end of next year. So speaking of budget, we made a few tweaks, but these were the things that we felt were necessary to ensure that this program was going to be successful. Again, as I said, we are starting really from the ground up when it comes to starting over for the Women's Center. And some of the things that we thought were important were workshop materials. We're really heavy on strengths-based learning when it comes to leadership development, helping students to understand their personalities and how that looks when it comes to identity and the other intersecting roles that they have on campus. We don't have a marketing person. So a lot of what we want to do is ensure that we have really strong marketing materials. So we want to ensure that we're working with people, and that may incur a cost for us. Refreshments would be covered by us. So those different workshop opportunities, those would be covered by the Women's Center. One of the things that we felt that was important was the speaker honorarium. We want to ensure that alumni, community partners, as well as campus partners, but industry leaders can really engage with our students in a meaningful way. And so we wanted to honor them and make sure that we help them understand that we value your time and commitment to our students. And then you'll see the other pieces for space and assessment needs for budgets.
With our assessment, we already have an ongoing effort through Qualtrics, through organic conversations, and also building up new tools that we want to use for collecting data in the initial process and throughout on program outcomes as well as educational outcomes. And with our program sustainability, I mentioned earlier, outreaching and connecting with previous partners, with existing partners, and that has led us to new partnerships on campus that we would like to bring into the fold. And that has been beneficial also to have input from our students, faculty, and staff.
The other piece when it comes to program sustainability is our overall budget. So we have written budgets for the upcoming year. We don't know what state dollars we're going to have. They keep dwindling every year. So we are leveraging partnerships with university development, seeking other grant opportunities to support our work, working with our campus and other community partners to do cost sharing, and then also looking to alumni and donor contributions as well. All right, thank you. We welcome your questions.
Do we have any questions?
It sounds like a great program. Do you have a preliminary list of speakers in mind or from different industries, or is there a focus on?
That's a good question. We don't have a list as of yet. That's going to be a part of our summer program planning, but we do want to work with our academic units who also, I mean, we know that there's mentorship programs that are happening on campus, but they're very broad. They're open to everyone. And not that ours is not open to everyone, but we do have a specific focus to ensure that we're meeting the needs of women on our campus. So that will be something that we would work on over the summer. But we are hoping to look at business, education, journalism, all the things. And we've even had conversations as of this week with our Carolina Veterans Resource Center. There's just a lot of need on our campus for students to intersect with these various industries.
Angela, then I think Ivana, did you have?
How do you identify potential women who you wish to serve as mentors?
That will be a call out. So in the conversations that we've been having with our campus partners and then the data that was collected, that is be a part of our recruitment efforts. So a lot of what we've been seeing is a STEM focus for women. And so we would actually just do a call out to those who want to participate as mentees, but then also mentors, and then list the need there. So again, identifying those critical needs like STEM, but then also business is one as well. So we would list that out over the summer.
So is it an academic mentorship? I guess I'm confused.
No, it's not an academic mentorship, but we serve all of campus. And so we are looking at how do we ensure that students are connected to alumni in their industry, but then also what are those personal connections? There are a lot of students that we've been talking to that say, I deal with imposter syndrome. I don't know how to navigate all of these roles as being a caregiver, working full-time. And so we're looking for a breadth of folks who serve as mentors, not just academic, but personally as well.
Thanks for that clarification. I
Yes.
love it.
Thank you. Yes.
I really love the concept. One question that I had, or more of a suggestion as you're starting out, a big chunk of your budget is towards those speaker fees.
Mhm.
But I think if you can rely, you'd be surprised, a lot of alumni or maybe professionals that are in the community that would be willing to volunteer their time, and then they can in turn turn into champions for you of the message and what you're trying to
We
do.
would love that.
And then I would start too with like professions and areas where historically women have been underrepresented, you know,
Yes.
banking, finance being one of them, tech, and kind of
Yes.
work your way up. So I don't know if who you're partnering in on the recruiting piece to bring people that are willing to, you know, even volunteer their time. So you don't have to pay, you know, $500 for someone to come in and
Yeah,
speak.
that's a good point. And we've already been establishing a lot of campus partnerships across across the university, businesses being one of them, but then also in some of our more STEM related fields like biology, computer science. Those are those areas that we want to ensure that we're partnering with because they know the folks that are in those industries as well. So that's a very good point. Thank you for that.
Okay, we're at time. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.
Can we go back to La Conferencia? Thank you. All right, well, just once again, you'll see a vacant space on your agenda. We did move La Conferencia to that space. We will be welcoming in Karen Chavez in just a moment.
Time. Okay. Good job.
So how many mentees or like how many women that they're going to be creating relationships like this? I didn't see that in the materials. Yeah, but how many, like, what are they targeting? Are they targeting, we want to establish 100 mentoring relationships? Do we want to, like, to me, and I totally agree. There's speakers all throughout the triangle that will gladly do this for free, including probably many on this committee itself. So, but I do wonder, like, what are they, how many mentors and mentees are they trying to attract, and how are they going to go? How are they going to promote it? Yeah,
I would totally do that. I have to say, I mean, it was a program like this, much smaller. It was just a luncheon with a women dentist when I was a junior. That made me realize because I'm going to have my private practice, I'm going to have the family I have, and just to bring somebody who had been there already and come to talk to us, just sitting down, changed my whole perspective of what I was going to do after practice and where I was going to go. It made and break it. Just that I had that lunch changed all my plans. Wow. You know, it's like now I know where I'm going, close to mom. Yeah. You know, because you can't handle it all.
Hello, everyone. Hope
Hello,
everyone's having a good
welcome.
afternoon.
Hey,
My name is Karen Chavez, and I am a sophomore here at Chapel Hill studying psychology and neuroscience. So today I'm going to talk about something that is really special to me that I had the most beautiful, fortunate enough to plan, and is La Conferencia. So I'm a student ambassador at the Kid in Atlanta Next Center. So I was in charge of making sure this beautiful event would happen. So what is La Conferencia? So La Conferencia is an annual space where many UNC students gather around together to talk about many academic and also identity-based like sessions and opportunities. Also, it's a place for many students to network with students not only in UNC Chapel Hill, but around the state. Many students here also find connections, explore what they want to do as students, and also how they're going to give back to their community. And so what makes us unique? The Conferencia is actually the first Latinx-based conference here in the South. And it's also one of the biggest ones here where actually many students from around the whole North Carolina come and convene to talk. Also, what is very important to note is that this conference is not only offered to university students, but also to parents, to community members, and also to high school students who inspire to come to UNC Chapel Hill too. So, what are our focus areas for La Conferencia? We base our conference into 4 important parts. We have academia-based sessions where we talk about our majors, our minors, and how to explore what we're passionate about in our life. Many sessions offered in La Conferencia are even faculty members from UNC offering different courses for students who still want to explore. We also have identity-based sessions where, other than academia, we have many important talents in ourselves too, such as art or just dance, culture, and many sessions are here to explore this and to find other students who also share similar stuff that relate to us. Then we have sessions related to giving back. How can we give back to our community? What strengths do we carry, and how can we carry these strengths to serve everyone else here at our school at UNC Chapel Hill and even outside of Chapel Hill? And lastly, we have sessions focused in future planning. What are we going to do as students with their degree? What do we want to explore and become to as people here in the world? It either be into graduate programs, how to apply to medical school, and also what do I want to do after college that isn't related to what I studied. It's here to explore many students and to know what's best for us. And what's better than doing this is to do it with like the students here at UNC Chapel Hill. Through this conference, students get to talk about these 4 different subjects and explore together. So our impact. This conferencia has different diverse perspectives all around UNC Chapel Hill and the state. Another thing is that it inspires students to become one with the community. What's really important is that many students not only feel like this is a conference, but a family. And especially many students strive to find other people that look like them and that also have the same similar goals and to work together. And also, this is an amazing opportunity for students to come network, connect with other faculty members and students, especially as first years. Coming to the university can be something very difficult and very special and very different for many students. Through La Conferencia, many students have walked out with lifelong friends. And also, it's a good way to build a base of Latino networking and also to connect other faculty and staff that look like them too. So our overview. This is the numbers from last year's conferencia. We have around 85 undergrad students, 70 community members, 10 faculty members, 7 graduate students, 25 presenters, and 12 staff members. Recently this week, I was able to get the numbers from this year's conferencia, and I'm really proud to say that the conferencia skyrocketed this year. So the updated numbers for this year's conferencia is a total of almost 300, with 176 undergraduate students, 22 graduate students, 40 presenters, and 19 staff members. And also this year, we were able to represent a total of 10 plus universities, including high schools, and also around from the 176 graduate students, around 150 were UNC students. So many of our UNC students were able to come to this conferencia. So for our budget, we have at 2,500, mostly covering catering, just so many students can help. Also, food carries a lot of importance for our culture to convene and to talk and network with one another. We also have speaker funding. In our conferencia, we offer 2 keynote presenters, one on Friday, which is the opener, and one on Saturday. And then we have supplies, promotional items, and photography for La Conferencia. And thank you so much for listening for our presentation. I will take any questions you may have.
Questions?
Yes.
When did you start La Conferencia?
Yes, this is actually my first year being part of the chair for La Conferencia and planning this. I started as soon as I started my sophomore year, around September. But La Conferencia is actually around 5 years. It started around COVID actually, and my boss, associate worker Marcela, wanted to create a conference where students can connect even online. And throughout the years, it grew into a more bigger conference.
Thank you.
Yes.
raised some funds for last year's conference. I think that number was $6,000. Could you just explain kind of how that all works? Like, are you charging admission or?
Mhm. So we also apply through other different type of grants, and we also ask for funding throughout the university, like in the student union, and also for our tickets, we do require a price to attend. So we were also able to grab some revenue out of the tickets and just other type of source of funding around the school and also around Chapel Hill area. Yeah.
We are at time. Thank you so much for coming and being with us today.
Thank you.
Great job. She was texting me that it was time. I'm going by my timekeeper. I let her finish her question. Technically, when you stop talking, very 2 minutes. Yeah, but I was.
Welcome to the Parents Council Interview Day. We are glad that you're here to share more about the in-body composition analyzer. Justin has provided the visuals and slides. You'll have about 6 minutes to present, followed by 3 minutes for questions we may have. You can see how much time you have left by looking at our timekeepers. Perfect. Please speak into the microphone so we can hear you. Whenever you're ready, please begin.
Awesome. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'll start by introducing myself, but we're all from UNC Campus Recreation. My name is Becky Librato, and I'm the Assistant Director for Fitness and Wellness.
And since I'm doing a quick introduction, I'll step over here, but my name is Tori Hooker. I'm Associate Director of Programs with Campus Recreation and also a proud alumni, class of 2007.
I'm Alex Brunero. I'm the Coordinator of Fitness and Wellness here at Campus Recreation.
Alrighty, so we are here to talk to you all today about funding for a body composition analyzer to enhance student wellness and safety. The InBody 270 provides students with detailed body composition insights, improving their ability to make informed health decisions. This funding would allow us to increase student engagement and access to health data. We have a short visual here to show you what this machine does. Oops.
My apologies. Is that a video?
Yes.
That is my fault, folks. I moved it to a PDF.
That is all right.
Apologies. We can pull that up for the end.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, maybe just describe what it
You
would
want
do.
to go ahead?
So it's a non-invasive machine, which is why we're looking into this. I know when we talk about body composition, that is a touchy subject for a lot of people. So I was fortunate enough in between undergrad and graduate school to work at a professional personal training clinic. And this was the machine we used, which is why I was very, like, we need to do this. So with this, you get the scale portion where you get to step on it. It's going to take your weight. And then there are these two levers on the side where you put your thumbs on it and it tracks things. It's a very accurate machine, especially for something that does do this. We compared it with several different machines, and it takes basically what your lean muscle mass looks like and what your fat mass looks like in a way where it doesn't really expose you. It's just numbers. So it's a lot easier when we're doing personal training stuff. If someone says, I want to lose weight, and they're losing weight, but say they're sitting there going like, hey, my body's not looking different, we can go to something like this where it's like, actually, let's look at the numbers. We can see that your fat mass is going down and your lean muscle mass is going up, which is probably why you feel stagnant, but we are accomplishing what you want to accomplish rather than looking in the mirror. Because it is our job as personal trainers to make sure it's not about what you look like, it's about being functional for the rest of your life, making sure you can move and feel good. And this is a way where we can kind of give you numbers rather than, hey, let's look in the mirror and see if we're doing what we need.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Do we have the video working?
Yeah, we're good to go on the next slide. I appreciate you bringing that up, though. Okay, so why is the InBody the go-to body composition software today for gyms and recreation spaces? Like Alex mentioned, it is accurate and reliable evidence-based technology. It is quick, non-invasive, and user-friendly. The detailed information that goes beyond weight and BMI is more inclusive to all body types, and this can be easily incorporated into a campus rec program for student clientele. So this is just an example of some institutions, medium to large institutions that have incorporated the InBody into their campus recreation programs for your reference. So what are our goals when it comes to body composition? We want to make students more aware of their health in a more comprehensive manner. We want to support their personalized goals, but we want to root them in evidence-based technology. This will hopefully foster more rapport with our student population and the fitness and wellness program overall. We want to give Carolina students more access to modernized wellness tools. And we want to support a sustainable wellness program in our department, and we believe incorporating this could do that.
So with a machine like this, want to make sure that we are being fiscally responsible. We do understand that there's alternative devices. Some of those are lower cost devices. However, those lack accuracy and reliability, like Alex mentioned. And with that, that would severely limit our functionality and our impact that we're able to have. Contrarily, we also have devices that are able to offer similar functionality and impact. However, those devices range from $10,000 to $80,000 and are much more invasive to the individual that's being tested. We do think that this is a good expense because this would definitely contribute to our programs and holistic student success and well-being, which is a university priority. And student fee increases for campus recreation have not increased in 6 years. So we're operating on the same operating budget that we have been operating on since before the pandemic. We do think that this initiative will be able to reach approximately 3,000 students. And we do that. We've ran those numbers based on our current numbers, our visits to the facility, as well as our unique participations in the fitness and wellness program. Our unique participations are approximately 5,000 participants just in the fitness and wellness program of campus recreation. And in the SRC and Rams Head Recreation Center, which is where this machine would be housed, we are seeing about 430,000 visits each year. Alex addressed some of the concerns related to body image sensitivity. However, I also want to just mention that we will be very forthcoming in our messaging and making sure that our staff is properly trained, both our student staff as well as our professional staff, making sure that it's a message about getting healthy from the inside out and not related to weight or aesthetics. We think that through a lot of partnerships, we will be able to partner with both campus health, CAPS, and student wellness to make this an ongoing initiative. And we will be able to cover any maintenance and operating costs of this machine just through our operating budget. So we do think this is a very sustainable program. And most importantly, we will use student feedback to be able to drive our adjustments and make changes to any programs and services that we will offer. Our anticipated timeline, we will purchase the machine as soon as we secure funding, and then we will be able to start with pop-up workshops. Do I stop automatically, or can I finish the sentence? Okay. Just want to mention that we will start automatically with pop-up workshops, and then we will begin our planning and assessing from those pop-up workshops in order to implement it into our academic year programming next year, hopefully. Our closing call to action is just making sure that we are empowering our students to be sure that we are continuing to give them data that will help them take control of their body and their journey into wellness. And we're asking for funding to be able to start this initiative. Thank you.
I have two questions. Number one, would students be able to make an appointment to use the equipment? And number two, how does it measure hydration?
Yeah, excellent. So your first question was, will students be able to make appointments? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So primarily this will be used in personal training. So anytime someone does personal training with us or renews packages, we will be using this. So that'll be included in the cost of personal training as it is. And then I would also, in my head, as we get people comfortable with this machine through training, we would go into allowing students to make those appointments, because there are people who do come in and care about how much muscle mass can I put on in class and stuff. So yeah, we do plan on doing that. And then what was your second question again?
How does it measure for hydration?
Yeah, so this is where it is a little comparable to bioelectrical impedance. But so this is where the accuracy comes into play. that's where we'll see it, is if you are extremely hydrated, it will really pop those lean muscle mass numbers. It doesn't really mess with that too much, because especially that's not what we're looking for, is the hydration thing. There's not really a direct answer to that, so I'm not gonna try to dance around that.
Question here, yes.
Yeah, thank you. And I love the idea of a more comprehensive, smarter measure of health using some of the metrics that this tool would measure. I wonder, is there a plan? Like, so student comes and they get all the things measured and it's like, oh. So is it, so you work with 3,000 students in personal training and they pay for it also? Is that what I'm hearing?
So we do have personal training clientele, but this would be accessible to students outside of the personal training program as well. So outside of appointments, we would most likely have 1 or 2 days a week where we have walk-in hours, where we have trained staff who understand the machine and understand how to debrief about your results with you. So a student who's not in personal training but just wants to come and have their scan done, they can sign up, walk in, we'll do the scan, and then they're not walking out with that sheet. We're going to talk to them and let them know what that information is. So that's how we plan to reach more people just outside the personal training program.
Thank you for clarifying that. I just have a follow-up question on that. So if I'm a student and I come in, I'm paying for personal training sessions. Had you considered whether or not you could charge the students the cost of having this in their personal training sessions and self-funding it that way, or?
You want to go ahead? Yeah.
So up front, yes and no. It's hard to kind of say to a student, hey, you already pay X amount of money for school. We're going to charge you more for this. We already offer really cheap personal training. After a year or two, though, this is something that we can justify to bring in more money. I don't know if I really understood your question either.
Okay, we're at time. Another one, sorry. But do we have? Okay, okay, go. Okay.
So are you asking like ahead of time, like if we can include this in costs, or after we have the machine? I guess that's what I want to clarify.
I'm wondering if there's another way for you to pay for this because you're charging students for personal training sessions. So
Yeah,
you can put that
okay.
into the cost and as opposed to coming to us for the parents' council, because this is not apparently open to all students. This is only 1 or 2 days a week open to all students, but it's primarily for students who are paying for a service.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. So with personal training, we've already used some of that to kind of pay for a space where they get their own personal space. Are you familiar with the SRC?
No.
Okay, so we have a beautiful challenge of we don't have a lot of space, and to give somebody a private space, that gets even more challenging. So we've already converted our racquetball court into a private personal training space, which is what we've used that money for. So I don't know how we can justify, hey, give us more money when we don't really have anything to say this is what we've improved to charge you more money. So.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. So that brings us to the next review break, where we'll have time to deliberate. So if we go in order, let's start with Mentorship Mondays. Any comments?
It seems like a lot of money for food. Don't you think? $1,500?